Welcome back to Unyo Tech. I'm Dave. I've been on something of a hiatus. A lot of life's been thrown at me these past few months. A lot of it very good, a lot of it very not so good. All of it very consumptive of my mental and emotional remit. But I'm back and trying to make videos for you guys again. I've been playing with a new architecture, Arrow Lake 265K 5070 Ti. The 270K was released subsequent to my buying those components, but if you stick around for that video, you will find it useful if you choose to invest in a 270K, because I'm going to teach you all about that architecture and how to tune it up to max your games. As part of that, I overclocked and undervolted the 5070 Ti. What follows in this video is my graphics card OC undervolt process using the photo mode from your favorite game. Very, very quick, very simple, very bare bones. You can do it in 5 minutes. And I hope you find this guide useful. Thanks so much for sticking around, for being a sub, for supporting the channel. Let's get into it. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you how I prefer to OC a graphics card. So it comes in 2 steps, right? Now, the first step is you adjust the parameters of the boosting of the curve. You set your core clock, you set your memory clock. And once you've done that, then you flatten the curve. So first you set your parameters and then you flatten. So I like to get into an area where there's some movement on the screen. Like here's this bush right here. Okay, this bush is swaying in the breeze. And then what I do is I'm going to go ahead and engage photo mode. So boom, now we're in photo mode and in the first person. And then you see right there, I'm seeing the bushes move. So the movement, I like to have something moving on the screen, because when it stops moving, then you know for sure that you've crashed your shit. 170, 172. Okay, let's back out. And let's get into Afterburner. And when we're in Afterburner, we're going to click that core clock. We're going to put it up 100 megahertz. And then make sure you hit the check sign. So it's at 2685 right now. Hit the check sign. Now it's at 2775. Back into the game. And then let's look at our FPS counter. And we've jumped up, 3, 4, 5 FPS, something like that, with that 100 megahertz core clock boost. Okay, let's do it again. And this time we'll set it to 200. So here we are, 200, enter, check, back into the game. I got a bit of a delay here. And now we're at 177. So we've ticked it up about 6, 7 FPS, I guess. Bushes are still swaying, and this is being rendered in real time, just like a game. You see GPU engaged at 97%. And let's tick it up another 100 megahertz for a 300 megahertz core clock boost. Check mark. Back into the game. And here we are at 180, 180, 181. So we've gained 3 or 4 FPS. Bushes are still swaying. Okay, we're good. But we're nearing the end here, you could tell, because we're close to, where are we, 2970. So let's tick it up one more. Here's another 400 megahertz core clock boost. Check that. We're just going to keep going until we crash. So we're back into the game here. 182, 181, 182, where I think we're probably seeing a little bit of diminished returns here. We've about kicked it as far as we can. The bushes are still moving. There's still movement on the screen. And let's just do it once more. See where we settle. Let's do to 500. Let's let it go for a minute. 185 now. And saw it stop there for a minute. Yep, we crashed. Okay, so now it crashed. So do we know our limit is at 500 megahertz? So what I'll do is I'll go back here and I'll tick this back to 400, and then I'll launch the game again. We're going to adjust the memory clock next. I'm going to take this core clock down to 375. Remember, our limit was 400, but we are chasing stability here, okay? Maybe I could push it to 425, to 450 or whatever, but what's stable in one game might not be stable in another when you're dealing with pushing these clocks, and it's sort of like a marginal stability OC. I want to try to get it stable for every game. So I took 25 off, so plus 375 on the core clock, and we're back into photo mode. Okay, let's get into the memory clock now. Now, with the memory clock, you're not going to see a huge improvement in average FPS by pushing this memory clock. You're really going to feel it in your actual gameplay and in only certain scenarios. Not so much 1080p, but when you got a lot of assets, 4K, heavy ray tracing, path tracing, etc. This is where that extra VRM bandwidth is going to help you. But you're not going to see much improvement in average FPS. You can sometimes see improvement in the 1% lows when you boost this memory clock. But you have to play the game, and it's sort of like a feel thing. So I know that this 5070 Ti can handle this. A 2000 should be fine. I happen to know that about this card, that it'll be fine. If you find in testing that it's unstable, you can take it down to 1500, etc. And I'm going to show you how I test the stability of a graphics overclock. Okay, so now we've increased our core clock, we've increased our memory clock. Now, why we do this is because before you start to flatten the curve, you have to set your parameters. So now if we do a Control F and we look right here at our curve, this is where we were. This is baseline, this small blue line. This small blue line right here is our baseline, and this is where we've gotten to. So we've really pushed it here. So let's say right here, we're at where we are at this moment, because at this intersection, you can't really see it on this screen, but it's kind of moving slightly, okay? As the image here is kind of like there's things being rendered, the bush is moving, etc., 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 and you can actually see that fluctuation when you look at MSI Afterburner and at the curve. So you can see right here, this intersection point is still sort of moving. It'll go up and down just a little bit, and right at this point is about where we are. So you can see it's about 3060 megahertz at about 0.99. Okay, so 9900 millivolts. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over here. Okay, so at maybe 975. And now, instead of looking at FPS, because we sort of maxed that out to our satisfaction, we're going to look at the power draw. So if we go back to the game, and again, this is being rendered at 97% GPU utilization. We're at 214 watts of GPU power. So now we go down to 0.975 volts, and we're going to shift right over here to the right of it and highlight all of this. Bring this down, boom, click. There we go. Okay, so just remember to always click that check mark. So our curve is set right here, 975, and flattened at that point at a tick over 3000 megahertz. Back into the game, and let's see what we're drawing. 204. So now we've taken it down 10 watts, and we've lost 2 FPS, maybe 1, maybe 2 FPS. So let's go ahead and do it again. 0.965 volts. All right. And let's highlight everything to the right of that. Bring this line down. Check mark. Boom, we flattened it. back into the game. And we're at 199 watts, 200 watts. So we lost another 4 or 5 watts there, and we haven't lost anything in FPS. So we're starting to go down a little bit, okay? So we lost about 2 FPS initially. Now we're at like 177, okay, down from 180. So no big thing at all, right? So you'll take that, right? So overall, we've lost 15 watts in power draw on the GPU. Let's take it down here. Let's take it down all the way to 0.95, okay? So here we are, 0.95, all the way down here. Let's flatten that. Check mark. Okay, up here. And let's see what we're doing. Okay, 176 now, so we've lost about 4 FPS, and we're drawing 195 watts. So that's down almost 20 watts, and we've lost, what, 3 to 4 FPS. From this light blue line to the heavy blue line was the establishing the parameters, the increase in the core clock. Now we're hitting this target, and we simply flatten. And then by flattening it, that's the undervolt portion where we've decreased the power draw of the card by 20 watts. So there's a combined OC and undervolt process for a graphics card using a photo mode from Cyberpunk 2077. And I would just add, do a quick pass in Firestrike Extreme and see if you can get that percentage above 97%. 97% is the minimum stability percentage rating that you should be getting in this test. The graphics card OC that we just performed got 99.6. So we're good here, and that is a very, very quick process for OC and undervolt of a graphics card. So there we have a very, very simple method for overclock and undervolt of a graphics card, and it's focused on stability, not pushing clocks too high, not pushing numbers. You're gonna max out your games. We're gonna explore this concept in depth in the arrow leg video because it's very, very, very important to understand that when you are tuning your system for gaming, gaming is a dynamic workload. And when you're tuning to improve performance in a dynamic workload, your concentration has to be stability, not pushing clocks. You want everything nice and stable so that it performs under duress. It's not about stability for your system, it's about gaming stable. Is your system game stable? Well, our graphics card is, and I'm going to show you how to tune an Arrow Lake system to max out your games but still have the system be gaming stable, and that's coming up in the next video. There are lots of particularities and idiosyncrasies about this architecture, so if you're thinking of investing in it, you're going to want to check that video out. Thank you so much to my subs, my followers. Please give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.